A very good morning, students. Welcome back to Programming for Problem Solving course. In our previous session, we started the files concept. We said files are the containers for permanent data. So, the different advantages associated with files we discussed, the different types of operations what we can perform with respect to files that we discussed, and the functions, the predefined functions inside your stdio.h library, whatever predefined functions we have which are helpful in handling the files, that also we have introduced. So, in today's session, we will discuss some more set of functions which are helpful in sending the characters or reading the characters from the file. So, in our last session, whatever functions, predefined functions we have seen, those functions with respect to different types of data we have seen. Okay. So, like integers, if you want to send characters, float, like that, if you want to send multiple data type values, then we have to go for the fprintf and fscanf functions. In order to handle such type of data, we have to go for fprintf and fscanf functions. But if you just want to deal with characters, that is, if you just want to send the characters to a file, or if you just want to receive the characters from a file, then we have to go for character manipulation functions. Okay, character handling functions we can say. So, yeah, many of these things we have already discussed, we introduced the files. Okay, the need for files we have discussed, types of files, text and binary, the advantage of using binary files and the drawbacks of text files we discussed. The operations associated with files, like creating a file, opening a file, performing read and write operation and closing a file. These type of operations we perform with respect to files. So, generally in order to work with a file, what sort of operations or what steps we have to follow, that also we discussed. I mean, that is nothing but creating a file pointer and assigning the file pointer to fopen function, and when fopen function successfully creates or successfully opens a file, it returns the reference to that file, it returns the pointer to that file, and using that pointer only, either we can read the data from the file depending on the mode which you have opened. Either we can read the data from a file or we can send the data to a file. Sending data is nothing but writing data to a file. And we said this file, it is a predefined structure available inside your stdio.h header file. Okay. So, whenever we are creating a file pointer, we are not writing that structure in our program. Rather, we are directly using it in our program. The reason, because that structure, it is already defined and readily available inside your stdio.h header file. Okay, fopen function for creating as well as for opening a file, we are using this fopen function. So, generally creating and opening, it depends on the mode, the type of mode which you are using. So, these are different modes of operations, your read mode, write mode, append mode, read plus, write plus and append plus modes. We discussed about these modes in detail in our previous session. So, the fprintf and fscanf functions, we have standard input output functions like printf and scanf, where printf is used to communicate with the output screen, that is nothing but your console, and the scanf is used to communicate with the keyboard. So, communicating with keyboard is nothing but reading the data, communicating with the console is nothing but sending, that is nothing but printing the data, giving output, isn't it? So, then we have two different functions, I mean this fprintf and fscanf functions, we are calling them as general purpose functions, isn't it? Fprintf and fscanf functions, general functions. The reason for giving that name general means using these two functions you can interact with anything, almost all any possible thing. So, in our discussion we are dealing with only the different devices like your keyboard, your output screen, and your what we call a file. Okay, so using printf and scanf, we can communicate only with keyboard, and this scanf is for keyboard and printf is for output screen. But whereas using this fprintf and fscanf functions, not only these two, but also we can interact with a text stream, that is nothing but the file. Okay, we can also interact with a file. Along with these two, we can also interact with a file. Okay, so that's the reason we are calling them as general functions. They are standard functions and these two are general functions. Okay, and we discussed the syntax of these standard input output or terminal input output functions as well as the general input output functions. Okay, so general input output functions, how they will differ with your terminal input output or standard input output functions, in the sense they simply take the stream pointer as the first parameter. They simply take the stream pointer, and the control string and data values, they are common in both. Okay, as you can see here also in printf and scanf also we have the control string and we have the data values. Okay, but when we are discussing about this fprintf and fscanf, apart from this control string and data values, we are also having the stream pointers. Okay, this stream pointer, if you are reading and writing the data to a file or from a file, that is your file pointer what we are creating. Okay, file pointer what we are creating, that file pointer you have to pass over here. Okay, when we do practically you will understand. So these are my character input output functions. In order to read characters or in order to write characters to and from the terminals or to and from the file, we use these character input output functions. Here also we have two categories. One is terminal only or terminal specific. They deals with only keyboard and the output screen, or any stream in the sense keyboard, output screen as well as your file. Okay, so terminal only function, for input we use the getchar function. Okay, getchar function, and for output we use the putchar function. Getchar and putchar, these two functions are used with your terminals. Terminals are nothing but keyboard and output screen. For input keyboard, for output output screen. Okay, same way any stream, in the sense any stream input function, any of these two functions you can use, getC and fgetC. Okay, it will read only one character from the provided stream. We will see the syntax of these functions, there you will understand. They will also take the file pointer and they will read only one character at a time. Okay, same thing for output purpose, we have putC and fputC. These two functions are used to write a character, a single character, to the file or to any stream, because they are any stream functions, to any stream. That stream, it may be the output screen or the file. Input functions, they read only one character from any stream. Okay, from any stream in the sense that may be from the keyboard or from the file. Okay, so input output functions used with both terminal devices and text files, and input output functions used only with terminal devices, two categories. Okay, so yeah, getchar, what it will do and the syntax I have provided. Putchar, what it will do and the syntax. Okay, then getC, fgetC, same thing. They will take the file pointer. As you can see, the parameter what we are passing to these functions, these parameters are file star. File star is nothing but your file pointer. You have to pass the file pointer to those functions, or any stream pointer you have to pass, because in general whatever discussion we are doing in your first year, we are doing with respect to these devices only, terminal devices and the files. But in reality, when we develop the applications, when we develop the practical applications, we can even interact with sockets. Okay, we can even interact with socket. Socket is nothing but your network port, what we are going to have for in order to get the internet connection into your computer, will be connecting a cable, isn't it? So that cable also a point of input output. If you are uploading something to the internet, that is nothing but sending the data, outputting the data to the internet. If you are downloading something from the internet, that is nothing but getting the data into your computer, that is nothing but input to your computer. Okay. So other means of input output is sockets. Not only your standard input output devices, not only your files, but also we have sockets, and socket is also a mean for input and output. Likewise, we can have different input output sources. Take the video camera. Okay, you are developing a C application where you want the video to be recorded, where you want, I mean, you are integrating the face recognition, let us assume in that way. Then what you have to do? You have to read the input from the camera. So in that case, that camera input will become the input source. Whatever camera is recording, that thing will become the input source inside your application. Okay. If you are generating some kind of sound, okay, some kind of message from your application, okay, voiceover kind of thing you are integrating inside your C application, then what you have to do? You need to interact with these speakers, isn't it? You need to interact with the speakers connected to your computer. You need to send some audio signal to those speakers. This is nothing but sending the output to the speakers. So at that time, the suitable stream which is helpful in sending the output to the speaker, that stream address you have to pass over there. Okay, a lot of different things we can do in C language, but whatever we are discussing over here, it is at the basic level. In such a way, you can develop a real-time working application. Okay, so quickly, this getC, fgetC functions in order to read the characters from the file, and where they will stop, in the sense till what extent they will read into your file, in the sense from the beginning till they find EOF inside your file. EOF, about this EOF, end of file, we discussed in our previous session. Okay, end of file is nothing but the last character or the closing point or the end point of your file, isn't it? So if they read, if this getC and fgetC functions, if they read this EOF, what they will do? They will immediately stop the reading process, because they will come to know, by reading that EOF character, they will come to know that they have reached the end of the file. Okay, so immediately they will stop the reading process. Okay, in that same way, we have putC and fputC function. They always write the characters at the cursor location, wherever your cursor location is within the file. The cursor location may be at the beginning of the file, or maybe at the end of the file, or maybe somewhere in the middle of the file. So wherever the cursor location is, they simply write the characters at that location. Okay, they will also take the file pointer along with the character to write. Okay, they are taking two parameters, as you can see. They are taking the character along with the file pointer. So what they will do, this character they will write to this file stream. Here also same thing, fputC function, this character will be returned to the file stream whatever you are providing. Okay, these character only functions, we have two categories, terminal only and any stream. Terminal only functions are helpful in reading and writing from the terminals only, and any stream functions are helpful in reading and writing from any stream or to any stream. Okay, so yeah, next this fclose function. So anytime in your programming, according to your requirement or according to your need, you are creating a file stream. Okay, that file stream creation is nothing but we are opening a file. Okay, to perform the input output operation, we are opening a file. So that file, that opened file, once you have successfully performed all your needs, all your operations, like writing the content to a file or reading the content from a file, if you have successfully performed these things, then you need to close that file, isn't it? Without which what will happen? The content may be vulnerable, isn't it? If you make that file opened forever, what will happen? The content will become vulnerable. Any third party or anybody else can read that content. If it is a confidential file or if it is having some important data into it, then that data any third party can easily read. Okay, so because of that reason, what we have to do, once we are done with our tasks, once we are done with our operations, the last operation we have to perform closing of file, and that closing of file, how we do means with the help of this fclose function. Okay, this fclose function is helpful in closing the file. Opening the file, fopen function, performing read and write operations, fscanf, fprintf, fgetc, fputc, then closing a file, fclose. Okay, there are other functions also we have. When they come in our discussion, we will discuss. Okay, so this syntax of this fclose function, if you see, it is simply taking the file pointer. This fptr is the file pointer what we are specifying over here. This is the pointer of file type, file star, pointer of file type. So if you supply that to this fclose function, what it will do, whatever file is associated with this fptr, whatever file that you have associated with this fptr, it will simply close that file. Okay. So just read the statements over here. When the file is no longer needed, it should be closed to free the system resources, because whenever you are opening a file, a lot of system resources are going to be integrated with that one. Okay, so keeping those resources busy with that file, even if you don't need that file, is somewhat an inefficient task, we can say. So to avoid that one, to make your task efficient, what we have to do, simply release those resources. How we can release those resources? In the sense, simply close the file, and that closing with the help of fclose function we can do. Okay, so closing a file is performed by a library function known as fclose. With the help of this fclose function, we are performing the closing operation. We are simply closing the file. Okay, then the syntax for closing a file, fclose followed by the file pointer. So whatever file you have opened in your application, simply using this fclose function, close that file. Hopefully you understood. Okay. So now we see some example programs so that you will understand the concept of files. Okay, we will create a simple program. Okay, in that I will use a text file. I will use a text file, and to that text file, using fprintf function, I will write some content. Okay. Using fprintf function, I will write some content, and how that file will be created, and I will open that file and I will show you in the computer, not in the application, in the computer. Then we will write another program. In that program, we use fscanf function and we read the content from the file. Hopefully you understood. So let me just show you these things practically. So I need to open my IDE. So these two programs we will do. The first program, as you can see, write to a text file using fprintf. So using fprintf, what we are doing, we are performing the write operation to a file, then read from a text file using fscanf, and using fscanf, the same content we will read, and we print that content on the output screen. Okay. So yeah, it is not open. So let me just open that one. What is that? Dev CPP. Yes, it is here. Yeah. Yeah, here it got opened. So let me just take a new file. Okay. So now I'll be typing that program so that to perform the printf operation, writing operation using fprintf function. So our what we call the header file we are including. Okay. Then okay, our int main void, then because I will read only one number and I will send that number to my file. Okay, you can read any data value. It is not compulsory that you have to read number only, numerical only. You can read character, you can read string. It is completely upon your interest. Okay, so for practice, I am reading a character, an integer, and that integer I will send to a file. Okay, int numerical, then in order to handle the file in my program, what I have to do, I need to create the file pointer. So file star fptr. Okay, file pointer fptr. So now open the file. Fptr equals to fopen of, give some name. Okay, I know that file is not existing in my current directory. Okay, what is my current directory? How we can check? Just go to file and click on open. See, this is my current directory. Documents is my current directory, and here we have drawing, some structure program. Likewise, we have these files. Now I will create some sample.txt file. Text document I will create. Sample.txt file I will create over here, not manually but with the help of program. And I will show you how that program will be, how that text file will be created over here, and how the text file will hold the data whatever we are sending from the program. So here, as you can see, node sample.txt is existing. Even I am checking over here all files, it is not showing me sample.txt. Okay, so simply close this one. Now give that name sample.txt. So if you don't give the complete path, if you're not giving the complete path, then this file will be created in the current directory only. So if you want this file to be created at any different location, then what you have to do, give that different locations complete path over here. But I want this file to be created in my current directory only, where I am writing this program. In that directory only, I want this file to be created. That's the reason I am not taking any relative or absolute path over here. The concept of relative path, absolute path, it is you are going to study in your upcoming semesters. Okay, so simply remember, sample.txt will be created in the current directory. Then put a comma in between. So as the file is not existing and I want this file to be created, which mode? Write mode, and we are performing write operation only. So write mode, W mode you put. Okay, then put semicolon at the end. Okay, so this is the syntax. Fopen function, we have given two arguments, file name and mode we have given. So if that operation is successful, if fopen operation is successful, that means the file is opened. And after performing this fopen, even after performing this fopen, if your FPTR is holding null, that means the file opening operation or the file creation operation is not successful. Okay, because of some memory failure or because of some system failure, that operation got failed. Okay, or we can say you don't have the read and write permissions to your current directory. Maybe that is one reason. Permissions also need to be there in order to create a file. If you don't have the valid permission means, then also what will happen? This file won't be created and you will get FPTR as null. Null means it is not pointing to anywhere. So remember this one. So immediately what we have to do, check that condition whether your file has been created successfully or not. If at all my FPTR is equals to null. What does it mean? It means the file is not created. Okay, so here you put that one, printf of no such file exists or file creation failure. It is an error message we are printing, file creation failure, and here only exit, no need to go further, and here only you exit your program. So in order to make this exit, it is something like stopping the program execution. Inside, without this exit, what will happen? Your program will execute completely. But if the file is not opened, there is no point of going any further. isn't it? If there is any issue in file creation only, then what we can read and what we can write to the file, isn't it? Because file is not open, so no need to go further. Here only you stop the execution of your program. So for that reason, in order to stop the program execution manually, we use this exit function. It is this exit, it is also a predefined function. We no need to bother about the code for this exit function. It is already there, available inside your stdlib, not stdio.h. Rather, it is available inside stdlib, standard library header file. So that I will include now. Just go to the end and hit enter. Here you put hash include stdlib.h, standard library.h. Come down. So after this, what we have to do? Yeah, hit enter. And if the file opening is successful, that means if the cursor is not going into that, if body, okay, if the control is not going into that if body, then what we have to do? Printf, read the character from the keyboard. Printf, enter any number. Enter any number. Okay. Enter any number, at the end put the semicolon, read it into that NUM. So scanf %d comma and %num. Now we have the numerical value into number variable. Now I need to send that value to the file. How come? Use fprintf of, okay. So fprintf will take three things, isn't it? Fprintf will take three things, as you can see over here. Yeah, here it is taking three things. fprintf, this function, fprintf function, it is taking stream pointer, that is nothing but your file pointer, control string with conversion codes and data values. Three things we need to supply. So first I will supply the stream pointer. So that stream pointer is nothing but our file pointer. So fptr, comma, conversion code we have to put between double quotation. I'm sending the integer value. So %d. Okay, give some space in between. Then at the end we have to pass the data values. My data is inside number variable, so I am keeping that num at the end. Okay. So now after performing the operations, my write operation is over. Now what I have to do? As we said, after performing all the operations, read, write, we need to close the file, closing a file. So how come we can close the file? Simply fclose off. Fclose off. What stream I want to close? FPTR stream I want to close. FPTR file I want to close. Or I want to close a file which is pointed by FPTR. So FPTR off. Put the semicolon at the end. So now save this. Give some name. Under documents directory only it is getting saved. So here file demonstration. So file demo.c. My file name I have taken file demo.c. Hit enter. File got saved. Okay. So, so this is how we are performing all our operations. First we opened the file here. Then we checked whether the file got opened successfully or not. If there is any failure in opening the file, simply we are exiting from the program. Then we are reading a numerical value from the keyboard, and after reading the numerical value, simply we are sending that value using fprintf function. We are sending that value to this FPTR. FPTR is nothing but our file, opened file or created file, newly created file. So this %d will put the value of num inside the file. Then after performing that write operation, we are closing the file pointer, closing the stream pointer associated with our program. So now quickly go and compile this program. See, I don't have any issues. It is giving errors 0 and warnings 0. So now you can run the program. So what it is asking me? It is asking me to give any numerical value. So let us say I'm giving like some 100 as the numerical value. So 1, 0, 0. Okay. hit the enter key. See that 100, it is saved inside the file. We can't see the output over here because we are not sending the data to the output screen. Rather, we are sending the data to the file. So what I have to do? Now go to your current directory, open. See here, inside current directory, it is showing me one file, sample, and it is of type txt. As you can see here, it is listing that name, text document, sample file, it is text document. Okay, .txt file. Its extension also you can check. Okay, maybe it is not showing the extension over here. So it is saying only the .txt file. Okay, here extension, if you go to the properties, it will show. Go to the properties here, .txt, text document, sample is the file name, text document, and the extension is .txt. So whatever file we have created inside the program, sample.txt, it is created. Now to check the content of this file, simply right click it and select open. See here, whatever content we send from the program, that content we are seeing over here, 100, isn't it? I send using the program 100 and that 100 I am seeing over here. So like this, I'm sending, because I want to make my program simple, that's why I send 100, okay, a numerical value. You can send a character value, a float value, a double value, a string value. Likewise, you can send any details over here. If you want to send the complete employee record, okay, complete student record, complete patient record, complete bank customer record, all those things like his number, his name, his age, his date of birth, okay, his address, his gender, his mobile number, email. Likewise, you can send all the details to a file and you can store all these details inside a file and those details will remain permanent. In that way, you can develop a small scale application as well using these files. Okay. So hopefully we do such a practical example, I mean a practical project work if time permits. Okay. Simply cancel this one. Now the writing operation is over. Writing the content to a file is over. So now what we have to perform? The other operation, the next operation, after performing the write to a text file, now read from a text file using fscanf. So that I will do over here to the same file demo.c file. So inside this write operation, yes, here also we need to open the file. Okay. So instead of going with this fopen separately and this portion of if, checking whether the file is opened successfully or not separately, instead of writing these two things separately, we can do these two things in a single statement. So I will show you how you can do and how you can remove that below if part. So here only you start writing if part, if at all fptr equals to fopen of sample.txt. Now the file is already existing, isn't it? We know that the file is created and it is having the content 100 into it. So now you can open it in read mode because we are performing fscanf. Okay, and this should not be equals to null, isn't it? And this should not be equals to null. If this is equals to null means there is some problem in opening the file. So if this is equals to null, then we have to print that message. Okay, so here you go and here you make it as equals to, and if this is equals to null, that means there is some problem, some issue in opening the file, and that issue we need to print. Okay, hit enter, printf of, okay, file opening failure, okay, dot. So go to the end and put the semicolon and exit. If this is, if this condition is matching, okay, then we need to exit the program here itself because we cannot move further and we cannot perform the read operation. Hopefully you understood this one. So the next thing, this means if you are coming out of this if part, if you are not entering into the body of if, that means the file opening is successful. So now what we have to do? We need to perform the read operation from the file. So fscanf of, okay, from where we are reading? File pointer. So fptr comma, so what we are reading? Integer value, percentile d, okay, comma, to num variable I am reading, into num variable I am reading. So that I want to print on the output screen. So this rest of the thing, it is not required, so simply delete. These things are not required. Closing is required, we will put this as the last statement, okay. So reading is over. So after reading, what we have to do? Print this value, okay, printf, okay, value of num from the file, okay, value of num from the file, percentile d, comma, num, go to the end and put the semicolon. That's it, okay. This is it. So we opened the file and using fscanf, we are reading that numerical value, one numerical value into num variable, and we are printing that value using the printf statement on the output screen. Okay, hopefully you understood this program. Just go and compile it, execute, compile. Yeah, as you can see, there are no issues. That means the program got compiled successfully. Now run. Okay, so it is not printing anything. I think I have not saved my document. It got saved. Yeah, over here when you are yeah, where is that error? Okay, over here when you are reading the value, you have to put here %. Okay, maybe that error it is taking. %, we need to put. Now save it. Okay, now you compile it. Compilation successful. Now you run it. As you can see, we are getting the data from the file. Value of num from the file 100, because we have 100 value only inside your file. We have 100 value only, and that 100 value we are seeing on the output screen. Okay, hopefully you got it. So the next concept, writing the numerical value to the file we discussed, and reading the numerical value from the file we discussed. So now we have to go for, okay, getting data using fseek. Okay, so about this fseek function we need to discuss. It is a very important function, and we need to use this function with extra cautiousness, because if you use this fseek function, probability is that you can go with errors. Okay, many of the times not syntactical errors, but rather logical errors. So if you commit logical errors in case of files, because you are dealing with permanent data, you are not dealing with temporary data, rather you are dealing with permanent data. So if you miscalculate this fseek function, then what will happen? There is a possibility that your data may get corrupted, or there is a possibility that you may lose the data, important data from the file, which we cannot get it back, isn't it? So whenever we are using this fseek function, we need to be more cautious, and we have to take some extra attention towards this fseek function. And what is this fseek function exactly? How it will work? So generally, whenever we are opening a file in read mode, the cursor is placed at the beginning of the file, and whenever we are opening a file in write mode or append mode, the cursor is placed at the end of the file. Okay, in both the situations, nowhere the cursor is placed, somewhere in the middle, isn't it? So let us assume you want to write some content into the middle of the file. If you want to perform read operation from the middle of the file, or if you want to perform the read operation into the middle of the file, then you need to move the file marker to your desired location, isn't it? You need to move the file marker, because whatever operation your application will perform on the file, it will perform at the file marker only. It will not perform other than that, in any other location. isn't it? So always your program will perform read and write operations to a file on the cursor location, on the file marker location. File marker is nothing but the cursor which you will get, the marker. It is a logical entity. We just have to imagine it. Okay. Of course, when you are opening the file in the GUI environment, you can see the cursor. Okay. You are able to see that cursor, but in this application file handling, when you are writing a program to handle the file, in that the file will not be opened physically, isn't it? The file will not be opened graphically so that you can see. The file will be opened virtually. The file will be opened and it will exist inside the RAM, but we can't see it, isn't it? And where the cursor location is, that also we can't see it. So simply we have to imagine. So that's the reason the developers have committed and they have given the advice to us that whenever you are opening the file in read mode, the file marker will be placed at the beginning, and whenever you are opening the file in write mode or append mode, the file marker will be placed at the end of the file, so that you can easily read and so that you can easily write. But if our desired location is not the beginning of the file, not the end of the file, then there will be a problem, isn't it? So that problem can be solved with the help of this fseek function. Okay, this fseek function, what it will do means it will take your file marker to your desired location. Okay, to your desired location. So here you can just read the statements whatever we have. Okay, if you have many records inside a file and need to access a record at a specific position, you need to loop through all the records. So you have to skip the beginning records and you have to move to the specific record. Okay, you have to loop through all the records before you get it, before you get the exact match, or before you get the exact record what you are insisting. Okay, this will waste a lot of memory and operation time. Okay, if you print all those things, it will take a lot of memory, and as well as it will take a lot of CPU time as well. So an easiest way to get to the desired record or required data is you can achieve this using fseek function. You can achieve this using fseek function. Okay. So as the name suggests, fseek, what it will do? It will seek the cursor to the given position or given record. It will seek. Seeking is nothing but taking to that location, dragging to that location. Okay. So fseek function will take your file marker to the desired location so that you can perform your operation at that location. Okay. So the next thing, as you can see here, fseek, the syntax of fseek function. Here we are discussing the syntax of fseek function. As usual, the first parameter to the fseek function is your file stream pointer. Okay, file pointer. Then the offset value, this we need to discuss, and then whence. Okay, these three things we need to discuss. The offset value, okay, the first parameter is the stream pointer. This is nothing new to us, we already know it. So because in fscanf, fprintf functions also we used this file pointer. So the same file pointer we are going to put over there. Okay, in that same file only we are performing fseek. So we will put that same file pointer over here. The second parameter is the position of the record to be found. Okay. So suppose after 3 records, after 4 records, like after how many records you want to read your data, that location, okay, from the beginning of the file, that location, how many characters away. So that we call it as an offset value. Let us assume this is your beginning of the file. So here I am taking some example file. Okay. So this is your beginning of the file, and you want, and you have all the records like this, and you want somewhere here the data to be read. Your desired data is at this point, at this location. So our file marker, when you are opening the file in read mode, the file marker will be over here. So from here to here, you need to count all the characters. Okay, generally we don't count, we are going to have some logical paths. Okay, so I mean we are guaranteed that first line will be of this character long, second line will be of this character long, third line will be of this character line long. Likewise, we have the logical calculation, and that logical calculation we put as an offset value over here. Offset value is nothing but the distance between the beginning of the file to your desired data. How many characters distant it is. Okay, so that distance you have to put as an offset value. That is the second parameter. And the third parameter specifies the location from where the offset value starts. Whether you want this offset to be started from the beginning or you want the offset to be started from the end. Okay, that whence we can provide in that way. So if you are reading, so let us assume if you are reading, then there is a possibility that your cursor will be moved to this location, and from here you are performing fseek. So in that case, we are going to have three possibilities: from the beginning of the file, from the end of the file, and from the current location of the marker of the file. So like that, three locations. So here you can see fset. Set means from the beginning of the file. You are calculating the offset value from the beginning of the file. Seek end in the sense from the end of the file. You are calculating the offset from the end of the file. Then seek current in the sense from the current location of the file marker. Okay. If this is your first read operation, then these two will be same. Okay. Or if this is your not the first operation but a random operation, then this two will be different. Okay. Hopefully you understood. So fset is from the beginning of the file, we are calculating the offset. Seek end is nothing but from the end of the file, we are calculating the offset value. And seek current in the sense from the current location of the file marker, we are calculating the offset value. So to demonstrate this fseek function, we have a program. So with that program, you try to understand, because if we see the stuff practically, we'll get many of the things. So I will simply type this program, and I will show you how we can perform this fseek function. Okay, let me just shift to my editor. So over here I am typing my program, I am creating the, sorry, I need to include stdio.h, then int main of void come down. Okay. So this we are writing for demonstrating fseek. So first I am creating the file pointer fptr. Okay. Then fptr equals to, I am opening that same file fopen. So because in order to open the file, okay, in order to open the file, we need to have some more content into that file, isn't it? We need to have some more content. So I will first open that file and I will type that content manually. So here that same sample file, see how I am modifying. So I am opening that file. So here I will add some text to it. Now, okay, what we call, just make it bold so that you can see it. Okay, bold, and take some 16. Okay. Okay, now it is visible. So hopefully, so I will remove this one and I will add some other content over here. So hello, welcome to file handling in C language. Okay, this is okay. Then ISL Engineering College. So likewise, Department of Computer Science and Engineering. Okay, likewise I have added some data to my file and I am saving this. So how come? Go to file, click on save. The same content got saved to the file. Now my file, it is holding this content. Okay. So I want to perform read and write operation on this content. So cancel it. So just start typing fptr fopen of file name. What is that file name? Sample, isn't it? Sample with small s, sample.txt, and open the file in read mode. So where the cursor will be positioned? It will be positioned at the beginning of the file, isn't it? It will be positioned at the beginning of the file. So now what I am doing after opening the file, I am directly performing fseek. Okay, I am moving the file pointer to some different location. So initially when you perform this, what will happen we will see, okay, without fseek. So I just want to read a particular character. So let us say fscanf of, okay, put the file pointer fptr, put the file pointer fptr comma, read the character %c. Okay, I am reading that character. So I am taking one character, sorry, ch. Okay, into this ch I am reading the character value from the file. So only one character I am reading. So ch, %ch, go to the end and put the semicolon, and now print that character. Okay, character from file, okay, %c, and that character we have inside ch. Put the semicolon at the end. Save the file, file got saved. Now compile. So initially what it has to read? It has to read as the marker, file marker. When you are opening in read mode, the file marker will be positioned at the beginning of the file. So we are expecting that it will read the first character. So compile. Some spelling mistake it seems. Yes, here. Okay, I will use my keyboard to correct it. Okay, hash include. So now compile. It got compiled successfully. Now run it. See, it is reading h. Why it is reading h? Why it is reading h in the sense, because my cursor location when I am opening the file, it is at the beginning of the file, and I have at the beginning of the file what character I have? I have the character h, as you can see here, this first character. That is what it is reading. So let us say if I want to read this w, okay, from welcome I want to read this w. So how many characters away it is? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and that space also we need to count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, space is 6. So it is 6 characters away. Remember this one. From the beginning of the file, it is 6 characters away. So that I will put over here, and before reading it. Before reading it, what I have to do? I have to send my file marker to that location. I need to send my file marker to that location. So how come? Using fseek I can do. Fseek of fptr, comma, how many positions? 6 positions. Isn't it? 6 positions, 6 as offset value. From where? From the beginning of the file. Isn't it? So seek underscore, what is that? Set. Isn't it? To read from the beginning of the file, what is the, yeah, you can see the first whence value. What is the whence value? Seek set. So that seek set I kept over there. So now you see what character we are going to read, whether we read that w or something else. Okay. So just compile, compilation successful. Now run. As you can see, we are getting w. Hope it is visible to you. W we are getting. Okay. So in this way, we can read the characters from our desired location. Not to, I'm just showing the, I'm demonstrating the characters. You can read any value. Like if you want to read double, if you want to read float, if you want to read a string, like that you can read using this fseek function from your desired location. Okay. Then we need to discuss, yeah, we have another 2 more functions. Those 2 functions I will complete, and with that we can conclude your 5th unit. Okay. So the next function, the ftell function we have. So yeah, fseek is over. So shall we see one from the end of the file? Yeah, we will see from end of the file. Okay, one example from end of the file. So open the file. So from the end, let us say I want to read this E. Okay, engineering, this E I want to read. So how many characters away? This is from the end of the file. This is the end of the file. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It is 10 character away. That is 11th character it is. So it is 10 characters away from the, I guess we need to push the cursor to this location because we want to read E. So we need to push the cursor to this location. So total 11 characters I guess. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 characters. If you push your cursor 11 characters, then you read, it will read this E. Okay, it will read this first character E. So that is our intention now. So we need to push the cursor from the end of the file. We need to push the cursor 11 characters in the reverse direction. 11 characters in the reverse direction. So whenever you take from the end, it will automatically push this from the end only. The offset will be considered from the end of the file only. So what I have to put over here, seek from the end, and then here 11 characters away. 11 characters away. So now save it. Then read it. Go. So here we are doing, already we are seeking from the end to the 11 characters. So it will come before that E, then we are reading that E, then we are printing. Okay, compile, just see the output, what output you will get, then run. As you can see, okay, here it is not printing, it is printing the space generally. It is printing the space. So instead of 11, you give 10 over here, then see. Here you give 10 and see, compile and run. Here like this also we are not getting. Acha, okay, seek end we have done. Seek end, after that 10 characters we set. Okay. So where it is going? Just open that file once again. I think we have extra space also we have over here. So this space we have not considered. So 11 in the sense. So from here to here, one character, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we will put some random value. Okay, we will put some random value and we see, because it is getting confusion in calculating the exact accurate value. So we'll put some random. We will put 5 and see what character it will read. Okay, we'll put 5 and we see what character it will read. So here just remove this and put 5, save it. Okay, then compile it, compilation successful, then run it. Okay, still it is not reading any character. Okay, there is some issue going on. Compilation successful. Okay, it is not showing that character. So from seek current, let us see, from seek current it is working. Okay, hopefully it got compiled. Okay, then execute. There is some issue with from the beginning we performed a read operation, so we got it, but when we are performing from the end we are not getting, and when we are performing from the current location also we are not getting. Okay, so I guess there is some problem. Seek set, we got with seek set, right? Yeah, with seek set also we are not getting now. So there is some issue with the file, it got happened, or with the program, I don't know. Seek set fptr file pointer, we are opening the file in read mode. Okay, we see here the last statement in our program, we forgot to close the pointer. I told you now, if you don't close the file pointer, you will get the issue. So this is one such example. So now we got many issues. The reason for getting those issues, we forgot to close our stream pointer. So, and we are keep on executing on that same file pointer. Okay, that's the reason we are getting issues. So definitely you have to close it. See, only one time we got the output. The reason, because we forgot to close the file pointer in the first attempt. So f close of fptr. Now hopefully you will get. So that's the reason you need to be extra cautious, I told you, whenever you are using this fseek. So now we check from the beginning, then we check from the end, and then we check from the current location. Okay, hopefully now everything will work. So first I am reading 5 characters away from the beginning. So it got compiled. Okay, still it is not printing. So let me just close this editor and open once again. Some issue we got with that file, maybe because of that reason I am not getting open. Okay, the file is having proper values, and close it, and the file name is sample.txt only. Then open our file demo, open. Okay, so reading character, file star fptr, character value we have declared, fptr opening the file in read mode, then performing seek operation, seek set 5 characters away from the beginning of the file. So then we are reading that character and we are printing that character. There is no issue in the program. Hopefully it should give the output. Okay, so F9 compilation, it is successful. Then F10, still we are not reading. Character from file, we are unable to read. Okay. Okay, we will go and we will see the other function, that is ftel function. So nothing wrong with the program. I guess something with the compiler only, because when we performed initially, we got the output, isn't it? I showed you, we read the first value h, and we read the what we call the 10th character value, e value we read. Okay, like that we read different values. So 0 if you put, it should read the first value. It should read the first value. So function F9, okay, then function F10. Yeah, it is reading now. As you can see, 0 when I am keeping, it is reading H. So the problem with the compiler only, it is not giving the perfect output. So once again, F9, then F10, yeah, we got this time also. So I will read some other character. Let us say, go to the file and check, open. So I will read some other character instead of first character. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, some 6, after 6 characters away, we have the W. So that can be read. After 6 characters, we have the W. So that can be read now after 6 characters away. From the beginning of the file, 6 characters away, there is a W. So I should get W now. So F9, F10, yeah, suddenly it started working because I have restarted the application. So now I am getting the output. So it is showing W. So next thing, go and check here. From the end of the file we check. Okay, for some 5 characters we give from the end of the file. So then we check some 5 characters away from end of the file. E and D. Okay, save it. 5 characters away from the end of the file I am printing. So F9 is compiled successfully. So F10, no, it is not printing. See, from the end of the file it is not printing properly. Okay. from the end of the file, it is not printing properly. 5 characters away we are saying, so it should print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 means it should print some E or something, but it is not printing. Okay. Anyhow, we see the other functions. Then we, if time permits, we come back to this one. Okay. ftell function. So we have, so ftell in C. So this ftell function, what it will do means, it will give the position where exactly you are. It will give the position inside your file pointer. If you want to know the current location of your marker, file marker inside the file, we use this ftell function. Okay. ftell function, it is used in C to find out the position of the file pointer. Okay. To know the position of your file pointer, we use this ftell function, and if you see the syntax, it will return a long value, and you need to supply the file pointer to this ftell function. Okay, supply the file pointer and it will return the position, and it is in like a numerical value, it will return how many characters away from the beginning. Likewise, it will return. When the fscanf statement is executed, okay, on someone, then what will happen? If you, after reading that someone, and if you perform ftell of fp, how many characters it is crossed? It has crossed like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you will get the ftell value as 7. So if you apply ftell after reading this someone from the file, then your ftell value is 7. Okay. Like that, this will also help you to know the current location of your file marker inside the what we call file. Okay. So here, to demonstrate this one, just go to the same program, and it is better way to know where my file marker is. Okay. After printing that one, I am printing printf file marker location. Okay. And it is a long value, so %ld, comma, ftell of fptr, like this. Just go to the end and put the semicolon, Control S, save it, and compile it. Compilation successful. Run it. See, 142 characters away it is showing from the beginning of the file, but it is not printing that character. Okay. Here instead that, take set only. Set, and here you put some 56 characters away. Okay. So 56 characters away from the beginning of the file. So you need to get that same value over here, 56 or 57 as the file mark, as the ftell value. Now go compile once again. Compilation successful. Now execute. As you can see, 57 characters away it is showing, because we pushed our file marker 56 characters, and after printing that 56th character inside your file, 56th character is H. So you are getting that 56th character, and when you are printing the ftell value, after printing that H value, you are calculating the, you are finding the position of your file marker. So that position of your file marker is nothing but 57 characters away. 56 characters you pushed using F6, and 1 character you pushed using fscanf. So your file marker position after printing that H, your file marker position will be 57th character. So you are getting that one on the output screen. Hopefully you understood this one. So just to know the current position of your file pointer or current position of your file marker inside the file, we use this ftell function. We have another function like rewind function. So let us assume you performed some reading operation, and after reading again you want to go back to the beginning of the file. This is then you have to use the rewind. Rewind means again the cursor, wherever the cursor location will be, in the middle of the file or the end of the file, wherever the cursor location will be, if you call this rewind function, what it will do? It will simply put the cursor position at the beginning of the file. Okay, whatever the cursor position may be, if you call this rewind, your cursor will be placed at the beginning of the file. Okay, irrespective of the current location. Okay, irrespective of the current location, the file marker, you can see over here, the file marker will be placed at the beginning of the file. Okay, at the beginning of the file. And if you see the syntax of this, the function name is rewind and it is taking the file pointer. Okay, it is taking the file pointer. So it is equivalent to void fseek whatever stream you are taking, and that stream you are keeping at the beginning of the file. So calling fseek of file pointer 0 and seek set, beginning of the file, seek set. This is same like simply you call rewind. Simply you call rewind of fp. Both are exactly same. Both will do the same job. Both will put your file marker at the beginning of the file. So to demonstrate this one, again I will go to the same program. So over here what we have done? So first I am pushing my file pointer to 56th location, and from that location I am reading the character, and that character I am printing on the output screen, and after that I am printing the file marker position. So that file marker I am getting like 57. So when my file marker is at 57th location, I am calling the rewind of what I am doing, fptr. So what this will do, this will take your file marker again to the beginning of the file. Okay, so from here I am printing printf. Okay, same thing, character from beginning of file. Okay, from beginning, because after rewind your marker will be placed at the beginning. So I am printing character from the beginning. So once again you need to read that character, right? Yes, once again you need to read that character. Same thing, fscanf of fptr comma %c, read that character into that same, and %ch into that same variable I am reading, and now come down and print that character over here, comma ch. Okay, that character will be printed, and once again you print the file marker location. Go to the end, Control C, come down, and here you print the file marker location. So here also you take one \n just to have the output in a new line. Save it. Okay, so rest of all the things are working, but due to some reason that seeking from the end of the file, it is not working. Okay, maybe it is compiler issue, I guess. Okay, otherwise everything is fine. Okay, because when we seek from the end, we saw that after seeking from the end, if you are not closing the editor, what it is doing, even when you are reading from the beginning, it is not allowing us to read. That is the problem. Okay, so that's why I am assuming that the problem is with the compiler only. Okay, so then give F9. Okay, now you print F10. See here, initially we are at the beginning, then I seek using fseek function, I seek my file marker to the 56th location. Then it is reading the character from 56th location. That character we got it like H. Okay, we got it like H. After printing H, my file marker will go to the 57th location, isn't it? My file marker will go to the 57th location. That location using ftel we are printing, 57 we are getting. So after printing the file marker position, I am calling the rewind function. So rewind function, it will take my file marker to the beginning, isn't it? As we said, to the beginning. So from the beginning I am printing H, isn't it? From the beginning I am printing the character, and that character is H. Okay, because we are starting our file with hello. So in that hello we have the first character as H. That H we are seeing over here. After printing H, my file marker will move one character, isn't it? My file marker will move one character, and if you print the location there, you will get 1. Hopefully you understood all our functions. Okay, we discussed in today's session, we mostly discussed 3 functions, that is fseek we discussed, then ftel we discussed, and rewind function we discussed. These 3 functions, they are also important, and inside this file handling concept from the beginning we discussed fprintf, fscanf, fopen, fclose, fseek, ftail, rewind. 7 functions we discussed, and some character manipulation functions also we have, like fgetc, fputc. These 2 functions also we discussed. So this file handling concept, it is very easy. There is a program in this file handling that is copying the content from one file to another file. It is a very, very important program. Or counting the number of lines, number of characters and number of words inside the file. That is also one of the important program. Copying one file to another file and counting the number of characters, words, lines. These 2 programs are very, very important. If lab sessions start, we'll do those programs practically and we see. Otherwise, we do some important questions solving sessions after your mid exams. Okay, many students, they are asking about posting the important questions, that we will do in the evening, today evening hopefully, okay, for your second internal exams. Okay, till that time, thank you very much students.